A bustling birthday party in full swing, laughter echoing through the elegant ballroom of a high-end venue in suburban Atlanta. Balloons sway gently, music pulses softly in the background, and guests mingle with drinks in hand. But then, out of nowhere, a stern white security guard in his 50s, with a smug grin and rigid posture, marches up to a sharply dressed black man in his mid-30s, who's casually chatting with a few guests. The guard's voice cuts through the chatter like a knife. "Sir, you need to leave. This is a private event." The black man, looking puzzled but composed, his face a mix of dignity and quiet hurt, replies calmly, "I'm here for the party." The guard scoffs, crossing his arms. "Yeah, right. We don't allow uninvited guests. Out, now." Whispers ripple through the crowd, some shocked, others silent, a few nodding in quiet agreement. The tension builds as the man is escorted toward the door, his shoulders squared with resilient pride, while the guard mutters under his breath about people like him. "What if I told you this wasn't just any guest? This was the CEO himself, undercover at his own celebration. Hold on, because this story of racism, injustice, and sweet irony is about to unfold in ways that'll leave you speechless. Let's dive in." Our story begins in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, a city pulsing with history, diversity, and, unfortunately, lingering shadows of discrimination. Meet Marcus Thompson, a 35-year-old black entrepreneur who's built an empire from scratch. Born in a modest neighborhood, Marcus faced his share of hurdles growing up. Teachers doubting his potential, job interviews where his resume shone, but his skin color dimmed the room. But he pushed through, earning a scholarship to Morehouse College, then launching Technova, a software company now worth millions. Marcus isn't just successful, he's a pillar in his community, funding scholarships for underprivileged kids and mentoring young black professionals. Yet despite his achievements, he knows all too well that in America, success doesn't always shield you from prejudice. For his 35th birthday, Marcus decides on something different. Not a lavish bash with VIPs, but an undercover twist. He tells his team to throw the party without revealing he's the honoree. "I want to see the real vibes," he says with a chuckle to his assistant. Dressed in a simple button-up shirt and jeans, looking every bit the everyday guy, Marcus arrives incognito, blending in as just another guest. The venue is stunning. Crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, a live jazz band playing soulful tunes. Guests from all walks, colleagues, neighbors, even some local influencers, fill the space. But lurking in the shadows is Richard Harlan, the venue's head of security, a white man in his late 50s with a perpetual scowl, starched uniform, and an air of entitlement that screams old-school arrogance. Richard's known around town for his strict policies, but whispers say it's more than that. He's got a history of profiling, quick to question anyone who doesn't fit his narrow idea of proper. As the party kicks off, Marcus mingles, enjoying the anonymity. He chats with a group of young employees about their dreams, feeling the warmth of genuine connections. But then trouble brews. Richard spots Marcus from across the room, his eyes narrowing. Why? Maybe it's the casual attire amid the semi-formal crowd, or perhaps something deeper, more insidious. He strides over, interrupting the conversation. "Excuse me, sir. Can I see your invitation?" Marcus smiles politely. "I was invited verbally by the host." Richard's lip curls. "Verbal? That's not how we do things here, name?" Marcus hesitates. Should he reveal himself now? No, he thinks. Let's see how this plays out. "I'm a friend of the birthday guy." The guard laughs dismissively. "Sure you are. Look, we have standards. If you're not on the list, you're out." Guests nearby freeze, exchanging uneasy glances. A white woman in her 40s, sipping champagne, averts her eyes, pretending not to notice. A black couple whispers furiously, one saying, "This is messed up." But they stay silent publicly. The division is palpable. Some bystanders shift uncomfortably, others look away, complicit in their inaction. Richard's arrogance swells. He's used to this power, his hypocrisy glaring as he chats amiably with white guests moments before. But Marcus? He's suspicious. The conflict escalates as Richard grabs Marcus's arm, gently at first, but firm enough to send a message. "Time to go, buddy." Marcus pulls back, his voice steady but edged with hurt. "Is this because of how I look?" Richard feigns shock. What? No, it's policy, but his smirk says otherwise. The room hushes. A mini cliffhanger hangs in the air. What will Marcus do? Will he leave quietly or push back? At around 1:30 into this story, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe to Axiom USA for more powerful true stories. Back to the tension. Marcus decides to stay composed, allowing himself to be led toward the exit, but not without noting the faces around him. A young Latina ally, Maria, in her 30s, with a warm, approachable smile and casual dress, steps forward hesitantly. Hey, wait, this seems wrong. He's not causing trouble. Richard shoots her a glare. Mind your business. Ma'am. The crowd splits further. Some murmur support for Marcus, others back Richard, claiming rules are rules. Irony creeps in. Here's a party celebrating a black man's success, yet he's being ousted from it. Marcus feels the sting of injustice, a familiar burn from his youth, but he channels it into quiet resolve. As he's nearing the door, Richard mutters, "People like you always try to sneak in." Boom, another layer of racism exposed. But wait, what's this? Marcus pauses, turning to face the guard. People like me? Care to elaborate? Richard stammers, his entitlement cracking just a bit. The suspense builds. Will Marcus reveal himself now? Not yet. Instead, he asks for the manager, escalating the conflict. Enter Ms. Evelyn Carter, the venue's white manager in her 50s, stern-faced with a conflicted expression, clipboard in hand. She arrives, siding initially with Richard. Sir, please comply. We can't have disruptions. Marcus's heart sinks, but he presses on. Disruptions? I'm just here to celebrate. The bystanders' reactions intensify. A group of diverse guests, shocked faces on some, angry on others, start filming on their phones. Division grows. One white man shouts, "Just leave, man!" while a black woman retorts, "This is racism." The community dynamics play out in real time, silence from the fearful, support from the bold. Richard's flaws shine, his hypocrisy in enforcing rules selectively, his arrogance in assuming authority without question. But then, a twist. Marcus pulls out his phone, dialing his assistant discreetly. "Get ready," he whispers. Mini cliffhanger. What's he planning? The party grinds to a halt, tension thick as fog. Marcus is now outside the door, humiliated in front of everyone, his dignified posture hiding the visible hurt in his eyes. Inside, guests buzz, some defend Richard, saying he's just doing his job, others call it out as discrimination. Maria, the ally, rallies a small group. We can't let this slide. Her supportive expression fuels a spark of resistance. Backstory flashes. Marcus remembers a similar incident in college when he was accused of stealing at a frat party. It fueled his drive to succeed, to prove them wrong. Now, at his own milestone, history repeats. Irony hits hard. The CEO funding this very venue's charity events is being kicked out. Subtle humor slips in. As Richard boasts to Evelyn about handling it, a guest nearby chuckles nervously. Bet that guy's more important than you think. The rising action peaks as Marcus re-enters quietly through a side door, thanks to Maria's help. He overhears Richard bragging, "These types always cause issues." Rage simmers, but Marcus bides his time. Around 8 to 10 minutes in, if this story has you hooked, hit like and share it to support Axiom USA. The conflict boils. Richard spots Marcus again, furious. "I told you to leave." He calls for backup. 2 more guards, white men with similar smug attitudes. They surround Marcus, escalating the injustice. Bystanders divide sharper, half silent, fearing confrontation. The other half vocal, chanting, "Let him stay." A police officer arrives, summoned by Evelyn, a black authority figure in his 40s, stern but conflicted, badge gleaming. He questions Marcus. "ID?" Marcus provides it, but Richard interrupts. "He's trespassing." The officer hesitates, sensing something off. Suspense mounts. What if the cop sides with Richard? Marcus's proof is his company card, but he holds back, wanting the full irony to unfold. Turning point, Marcus gathers allies. Maria introduces him to a white colleague who knows his secret. "This is wrong," the colleague says. Together, they confront Evelyn. "Check the guest list again, under Thompson." Evelyn's eyes widen slightly, but she doubles down. Doesn't matter. Marcus fights back legally, mentioning discrimination laws. This could be a lawsuit. Richard laughs arrogantly. Good luck with that. But irony builds. Guests start recognizing Marcus from business articles. Whispers spread. Isn't that the CEO? Minnie Cliff. Before the final reveal, want to hear more untold stories of injustice and resilience? Subscribe to Axiom USA and never miss one. He reveals, I'm Marcus Thompson, the CEO of Technova, and this is my birthday party. Gasps echo. Richard's smug face crumples into shock, his rigid posture slumping. Everyone cries, tears of regret, relief, justice. The officer nods respectfully. Evelyn apologizes profusely. Richard's downfall, fired on the spot, his arrogance leading to public humiliation. Justice served with irony thick. The uninvited was the host. Moral: in a world rife with racism and discrimination, resilience shines brightest when truth prevails. It sparks discussion. How many times does this happen unseen? What can we do to fight back? Outro. Thanks for watching Axiom USA, where every story reminds us of resilience and truth. Like, share, and subscribe for more.